Jason turned his fork. Theoretically, that leaves us time. It's only July 5th. We should be able to close the doors of death, then find the Giants' headquarters, and stop them from waking Gaia before August 1st. Theoretically, Hazel agreed. But I'd still like to know how we make our way through the House of Hades without going insane or dying. Nobody volunteered ideas. Frank set down his pancake roll like it suddenly didn't taste so good. It's July 5th. Oh, jeez. I hadn't even thought of that. Hey, man, it's cool, Leo said. You're Canadian, right? I didn't expect you to get me an Independence Day present or anything. Unless you really wanted to. It's not that. My grandmother, she always told me that 7 was an unlucky number. It was a ghost number. She didn't like it when I told her there would be so many demigods on the quest. And July is the 7th month. Yeah, but... Leo tapped his fingers nervously on the table. He realized that he was doing Morse code for I love you, the way he used to do with his mom, which would have been pretty embarrassing if his friends understood Morse code. But that's just coincidence, right? Frank's expression didn't reassure him. Back in China, Frank said, in the old days, people called the 7th month the ghost month. That's when the spirit world and the human world were closest. The living and the dead could go back and forth. Tell me that's a coincidence we're searching for the doors of death during the ghost month. No one spoke. Leo wanted to think that an old Chinese belief couldn't have anything to do with the Roman and Greeks. Totally different, right? But Frank's existence was proof that cultures were tied. The Zhang family went all the way back to ancient Greece. They'd found their way through Rome and China and finally to Canada. Also, Leo kept thinking about his meeting with the revenge goddess Nemesis at the Great Salt Lake. Nemesis had called him the 7th wheel, the odd man out on the quest. She didn't mean 7th as in ghost, did she? Jason pressed his hands against the arms of the chair. Let's focus on things we can deal with. We're getting close to Bologna. Maybe we'll get more answers once we find these dwarves at Hecate. The ship lurched as if it hit an iceberg. Leo's breakfast plate slid across the table. Nico fell backward out of his chair and banged his head against the sideboard. He collapsed on the floor, with a dozen magic goblets and platters crashing down on top of him. Nico! Hazel ran to help him. What? Frank tried to stand, but the ship pitched in the other direction. He stumbled into the table and went face first into Leo's plate of scrambled eggs. Look! Jason pointed at the walls. The images of Camp Half-Blood were flickering and changing. Not possible, Leo murmured. No way those enchantments could show anything other than scenes from camp. But suddenly a huge, distorted face filled up the entire port wall. Crooked, yellow teeth, a scraggly red beard and warty nose, and 2 mismatched eyes, one much larger and higher than the other. The face seemed to be trying to eat its way into the room. The other walls flickered, showing scenes from above deck. Piper stood at the helm, but something was wrong. From the shoulders down, she was wrapped in duct tape, her mouth gagged and her legs bound to the control console. At the main mast, Coach Hedge was similarly bound and gagged, while a bizarre-looking creature, a sort of gnome/chimpanzee combo with poor fashion sense, danced around him, doing the coach's hair in tiny pigtails with pink rubber bands. On the port wall side, a huge, ugly face was seated, so that Leo could see the entire creature, another gnome chimp, in even crazier clothes. This one began leaping around the deck, stuffing things into a burlap bag. Piper's dagger, Leo's Wii controllers. Then he pried Archimedes' spear out of the command console. No! Leo yelled. Ugh, Nico said from the floor. Piper! Jason cried. Monkey! Frank yelled. Monkeys, Hazel grumbled. I think those are dwarves. Stealing my stuff! Leo yelled and ran for the stairs.